there are a ton of sectors like people can make money from. You get, why just tell us akara, corn, and
it's
only one small sector, and that's not even really the sector in the sector.
Funny how that sector, there are people who can't even start up that business because they don't have capital.
Because the beans you are talking about, how much is one bag of beans?
There's nothing like Olodo Uprising. It's realization. It's more like Olodo realization. It's like we are realizing the trend now that people have been doing over a very long period of time.
Hey guys, my name is Sheddy and I'm your host for the Sheddy's podcast. Today we are going to be talking about a trending topic, a very big topic because a ton of people have spoken about this topic, celebrities, Ycee came with this topic when he was on a podcast talking about the Olodo Uprising. In recent days, a ton of Olodos, according to Ycee, has came to the limelight, and it seems like it's making a lot of people now feel like you have to be an Olodo to be known, to be respected. Because even if you check, generally the people who have more followers, some of them are Olodos, a ton of them. I mean, So the word Olodo is from the Yoruba ethnicity. The word is from Yoruba, and I checked about the word, and it's divided into two: Olo and Do. Olo meaning owner, then Do meaning nothing. That's nothing. Like you are the owner of nothing. So precisely, it means that you are dumb. You don't know anything.
Yeah,
you are just there. I'm not say Clout. That word is not good, right? And that's where the word originally came from. You get the point. So today we are going to be looking at certain questions about the whole topic, and we are going to expatiate really to know a lot about this stuff. To begin with, we are going to be looking at why Olodo Uprising has become so popular in Nigeria. All right, why has Olodo Uprising become popular? Next.
First of all, majority of us have seen the Ycee podcast where he made a statement regarding the whole themes of youth following the Pella culture in his words before declaring it as Olodo Uprising, saying majority of youths, in order to trend, in order to be famous, usually do stupid things online instead of doing educative content, because majority of us as Nigerians follow the Olodos online more than people that are posting actual educated content.
Wow, that's nice. Ycee.
Okay, me personally, when I stumble on the whole topic online, because I haven't really been seeing much about it, but I'm like, there's nothing like Olodo Uprising. It's realization. It's more like Olodo realization. It's like we are realizing the trend now that people have been doing over a very long period of time. The first thing I'm going to start off with off the bars is Afro music. Sorry to say to people who do Afro music, but I feel like 85% of Afro music is trash. And then we get to enjoy these songs more than songs like the amount of the percentage of dumb songs, that's songs that give dumb information that we listen to, that are trending, that have more attraction and more money, is way, way higher than the ones that have sense. And it doesn't do any justice to the artists or the people listening, the listeners. You get, it doesn't do anything for their profession. Nobody's seeing their talents, nobody's seeing their career, nobody's helping their career. So it's not uprising. It's we finally starting to realize that, we have just been following the dumb shit for the very longest of time.
Wow. That's a lot. So what do you think?
Well, personally, I would say, the topic of Olodo Rising is something that has been in society for a long period of time. We have to look at it from the moral perspective. The moral fiber, let's use Nigeria as a case study. Our own moral fiber is very weak. Our generation now, especially our youth, we value wealth, money, and all these things, the lifestyle over everything. So the consequences that we come after any action we take to gain money, we don't tend to look at it like we don't care about it.
Yeah.
We care about the resources that we get at the end.
Actually.
So the Ycee and the parents issue is just the last straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
If you ask me. So if we are truly going to address this thing, we have to go back to the moral fiber of the society.
Wow.
Like, why should we do what we're doing? Just
Yes.
like some of my colleagues have said, the contents that we consume in music, movies and the rest, they're actually not encouraging.
Yeah.
What are they showing to the society? I mean, what are they encouraging society for?
Yeah.
So, but it's just trends. We need to make our money off and leave. So we don't care what the impact in the society. All we care about is let's get our money and leave.
Yeah.
So that's just the thing.
Wow. That's a lot. The whole environment and okay. So let's hear from you, Stone.
Okay. Having like listened to what everybody has said here, I feel like in my own opinion, they're all right. Because at the end of the day, we see different trends. A lot of people come up with like crazy ideas, a lot of people come up with like they just want to like see themselves up there. Nobody cares about like what they are doing or how they go about it, because the whole like system already is like demoralized. Nobody's following like the moral part of everything. These days you see a lot of people like doing stuff anyhow, dressing anyhow, saying vulgar things, like they just want to do anything to the trend, There was this video one time, I'm not going to mention the name. There was this guy that was always like eating bread and akara. Like, bro, this is like basic food stuff. Like, he kept doing it and doing it and doing it. Like, he kept going on and on and
Wait,
on.
what's the guy's name again?
I can't even remember.
There's this phrase he used to say, like, he usually has like loads of food, like,
and then he's
always
making
having
stuff
chunks.
comments in the middle.
Then you bought like 10 eggs. Like, bro, like if you're hungry, don't eat and lock up and go to bed. Like, everybody has to know that you are like a foodie. Like, those kind of things. This is just an example, though. So like, I feel like it just.
He could not even finish it. I think his TikTok account got like
he had
he stopped.
like
that shit could even cause cardiac arrest.
Yes. There's a lot of health implications to eating anyhow. You get the point. But from all we've said, at the end of the day, it's generally talking about like the way things are being done now. You get, and for me, actually, I feel like the Olodo Uprising has a lot to do with the government. It started with the government.
Yeah.
Why I'm saying that is because like if you look at it, there's a very dysfunctional system you get when it comes to education. There are countries where the government does everything possible for people to go to school. You get the point. That's not what is happening in Nigeria now. Now a lot of people cannot even go to school, either because they don't have money, either because the place is not safe. There's just a lot of things. And these are the people that are growing up to become these content creators. So what are we expecting from somebody who does not have even basic education? You get the point. So let's talk about the Olodo Uprising relating to a failed government. Now, as I said earlier, the government is a huge part of this stuff because most people can't afford schools. Most people can't go to schools because either bandits is pursuing them from schools. Recently, we even know that students were adopted and their teacher was beheaded in the bush. Right? So there's just a ton of problems. I want to hear from you guys how you think, like, what you think about this whole thing concerning the government and the Olodo Uprising.
What I think about the government, the government is a core contributing factor to the problem that we are having concerning this. If we want to talk about basic education, some of these people who are actually into this whole Olodo, whatever, most of them have basic education.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have basic education. People in my class right now, they are in their university level. These people would still do these things they will still join the trend.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So basic education doesn't necessarily relate to the reason why they go into these things that they do.
Okay.
The government creates a very bad system that pressures you. Now, not just the government pressures people like your family members, your parents, which goes down to pressuring you to be successful in a short period of time. And then it forces you to go into a coping mechanism. Do you get? And then you get to just do whatever comes to your mind. just to survive, and so you don't feel the people that are supposedly looking up to you. Even if you want to be judicious about it, the time you are looking for this money is not the time you are supposed. The amount of money you are looking for at your age is not the money that basically you don't need 100 million naira in your account as a 20-year-old. What do you want to use it and do? We have what we want to use it and do. Let's not, if we like money, we need money. Hey, yes, very valid. But then the pressure is what pushes you. If everything can be laid out the way it was supposed to be, when the educational system first came into the country, there was a planned out process of how it's supposed to go. You go to school, you finish, you go to the university, you get a job, and you get paid in a way that it's comfortable for you as a single person. Even if you get a family, there's the way you go around it. But you cannot. It's not conducive anymore. So you are forced into doing anything.
I get.
So they actually are the core reason, and it boils down to people around us, people looking up to us, and then our own personal self growth.
Wow, that's nice. Like the government, I think I disagree with a list of what you said. Actually, you get, you have to disagree to agree sometimes. Yeah, you see, the government is, as you said, a core factor of the issue of the Olodo Uprising. You get, because they have set out a laid out plan, and that was how a lot of people was going. But now that plan is not working. You get. I think most people that are going into this stuff, like, I don't think doing social media content is bad. You get, we have to say it now. You get, so it's not like we're talking down on like the general facts, but it's the fact that some of the concepts that people are bringing these days, some of the contents that are giving out. Like there's a guy, what he does is he will tell ladies to stay in one side. Like, I've forgotten the name of the guy. Then they'll be like doing some type of sexual things you get on TikTok. They'll hide some part of their body so that TikTok don't ban their accounts and stuff. You get that the guy has been doing it. People have been complaining. You get, and even there was one time before TikTok made their policy really strong that people even used to do all those things on TikTok. You get the point.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of things like that. You get, but at the end of the day, the government has a very big role to play. You get, and we knowing things for ourselves also have a very big role to play. As she said, it's not about like completely education, because you can be educated and still do some things. Yeah. So let me also hear from Nix.
Well, the government being a problem in the whole Olodo Uprising thing is literally how they contribute in terms of blaming we, the people, instead of like bringing solutions. The president said, the president's wife, she said, we youths, she's encouraging us to fry akara, roast corn, and sell kuli. But the thing is, there should be, if she was, so help me good, if she was not among the whole Olodo Uprising thing, what should have come up with is like an entrepreneurship programs to help youth, teach youth, then you empower them on when they fail you. That's when you have the right to be like, you know what? I've done my own part. Now that you've not like made efforts in like helping yourself, go and sell corn. Go and do this. It's as simple as that.
To show that she, I'm sorry, she doesn't know what she's doing. There are a ton of sectors like people can make money from. You get, why just tell us akara, corn, and it's only one small sector, and that's not even really the sector in the sector.
Funny how that sector, there are people who can't even start up that business because they don't have capital. Because
the beans you are talking about, how much is one bag of beans? You get the point. So it's like a lot. Like,
and you cannot relate.
There's a ton of things happening now. Like in this current, in 2026 now, there's a lot that was not even happening before. An example is AI, artificial intelligence. It's one of the biggest like industry now as we're talking. You get new things are coming. You cannot think of all those ones. You just say we should sell corn, not even say rice. And little we say we should sell you are no extra. You say corn that will sit on the road and fry that.
I don't want this whole thing to die down.
Yeah.
So I want to like give my own like share of this whole thing. Now, the government in general,
right?
We all know that it's supposed to be like the bedrock of like upcoming like generations.
Yes.
They're supposed to be the ones like putting us out there to be like see ourselves as future leaders, successful people and all of that. But the government has failed us.
Mhm.
Completely.
So
They have
many
completely
times.
failed
Very
us.
well.
And it's quite difficult to navigate through like wanting to know what you want to be in life. Now let me give you a typical example. You have 2 kids, right? Let's say 2 different children growing up. One will tell you, oh, I want to be a doctor. The second one tells you, oh, I want to be maybe a nurse or a footballer or something. Give that child less than 5 years, bro. You tell you, oh, I want to sell storybook. How did you go from being a doctor, wanting to be a doctor, to wanting to sell storybooks? Like, just because you saw one fine auntie
The
or
system has
something.
killed
Like,
your
it
dreams.
has killed your dream. There is no motivation to even think straight. You either come up with something like there are just different trends that we see online, and everybody just wants to copy and like adopt just because they are making money
out of it.
It doesn't make any sense. Now, see our first lady. So what she was saying. Instead of saying we should fry akara or we should sell corn or sell other things, why didn't she say like, okay, I want to have like a scholarship for like, let's say 500 students now and say, oh, let me sponsor them in AI mentorship or something like that. Come up with a tech innovation, because tech now is like, there's a lot of money in tech right now.
Seriously.
And it's so like,
It's the biggest industry.
it's so global right now.
Do you know why? Do you know?
Really make money from it right now?
Do you know why tech is like? Let me give you a scenario. The owner of Meta, that's Facebook, Instagram, and Mark. Only Mark's Facebook, is way bigger than Dangote's whole
Obviously.
what they call it, networks.
Definitely.
You get only his Facebook. You get the point.
No.
So why not not find or like try to make people innovative to that extent? You get, and you're just telling us we're going on.
Please, I also love to chip in on this before it goes down, The whole point of, or the whole thing of this Olodo Uprising is, we can blame the government part of it.
Yes.
But we
still have our problem.
We have a role to play in it, right? So, from we getting the pressure of having the money started from the government, right? From justice being perverted, the government showing us that with the money you can buy justice, right?
You can do a lot.
Do what, and so now a common man like us feel that okay, we don't in fact we don't need the education, we just need the money. If we can get the money, we can get what we want, right? But that's just the beginning of it. So coming back to us as citizens of the country, do we ever ask ourselves, where are we driving to where are we going? Yes. So because the whole thing we are doing, the TikTok trends, the social media and everything in the society is impacting our life. It's not only government alone. So even we as citizens of the country, we're not really helping ourselves. If you ask me, from my own point of view, that's what I'm saying. Because yes, the government is there to play the role that we assign them to play, because they are not there. They did not find themselves in there. We elected them to represent us, right? So when they did not do something that benefits us, we opt them out. But then in this case, we don't do it. The government benefits the fracture of some certain people, and the people tends to dominate others.
Control.
Since you have the power, we can do what you want. So the thing is, it's just scattered in all dimensions. It's not, in some cases, in all.
So the
from the government and the citizens as well. So it's a whole messy thing.
Sorry, I wanted to add to what you just said. I saw something online very, very funny today. Wow. So I think election is coming up. Next year. Right?
Next year, 2027.
I saw something. It was very, very funny to me. Right? Currently, the government is not performing well at all. Nobody's in like
all sectors are bad.
So, like, we have different branches like in the country where we have education, we have religion, we have health, all of that. Now, if I don't want to go too deep, but I just want to like point out what I saw regarding the religious part. So I saw something. We as Nigerians, we voted for these people to come into power. Right? Now, our so-called church daddies and pastors are the ones coming to tell us now to pray that God touches their hearts for us to like be well again, and for them to like come back to their senses and be like, we should pray and get back to like a good Nigeria. Nobody does that, bro. If that's the one advice I want to give everybody now. Please go and get your PVC.
Yeah.
Very important.
So
Have your PVC,
it's a problem. Wait, let me.
It's cooked.
So it's so cooked to crown it on.
Very important.
There are a few things I would like to say. All right. Number one, those people that used to do TikTok live and don't used to sleep. It's affecting your brain. It's like your level of pricing. One rose done without my friend. Yeah, lion. Get lion during the day. Get lion during the day. Don't keep yourself all night without sleep. Sleep is very important.
And it's not like
These are things that are making people like, if you see people from the 80s, 90s, let me say 80s, 70s, 60s, most of them are smarter than people of these days.
Yeah.
True.
You get,
True.
you don't sleep, you don't read, you consume TikTok, you consume all the social media there is. You get the point.
You're just
So
frying your brain.
it's really, really, really bad. All right. So you guys try to sleep. Sleep is very important. All right. So moving on, we've said a lot when it comes to the Olodo Uprising and governments. Now, there's another challenge that Nigeria and the world in general is facing. In one aspect, this whole concept is good. And in another aspect, this whole concept is affecting a lot. Right? Because we tend to respect a lot of these people and they end up taking us the wrong path. You get the point? So we are going to be talking about the Olodo Uprising relating to religion. Religion is a very, very, very vast topic to talk about, actually. And there are a ton of religions. There's Christian, there's Islam, there's Buddhism, and there's just, when you go to China and like Asia, you're going to see some that I've never heard. You are going to see some, the one person is serving the son of the god. Another person is serving the great grandfather of the god. The other person is serving the daughter. There's a lot of things. There's a lot
of religion.
Yeah. So when it comes to religion, let's speak about it. What can you guys say? How has religion affected us in increasing this Olodo Uprising? Let's start with you.
Okay. I gave you a point earlier, right? So I'll probably just digress on that.
Yeah.
So in general, where we have I don't know how to direct this topic because it's a lot.
It's a lot
to say about it. But I don't know where exactly to hit the
nail on the head.
You understand? So I'll separate it. Yeah.
Okay.
So religion plays a very, very big role. A key role at that.
Yeah.
This whole Olodo Uprising thing.
Sure.
And I feel like the youth of these days, they don't really care. I feel like they are working based off of their own mindset.
Yeah.
They do not want to be criticized. They do not want to be judged, or they don't have anything that has to do relating to religion. They just go all out, like solo, like lone wolf kind of
on morality
on their own. Exactly. Like they don't really care.
Yeah, but it's not everybody.
Yes, I know it's not everybody.
But
that's what we're talking about the Olodo Uprising here.
The majority, yes.
The majority of in this whole context that we're talking about, not everybody, not be everybody be Olodo Uprising now. So you understand now. So and now the people that are supposed to be looking up to and say, oh, we need advice from them. We call them our daddies or our general overseers and all of that. Those people don't care. The only thing they care about is filling their pocket.
Thank you.
That is the only thing they are more concerned. No, I'm being serious. Let's be brutally honest.
Let's not generalize still.
Yeah.
There are people, they might still have the good intention.
There are a ton of
they are blinded by,
actually, yeah, she has a point.
But you know one thing about, for example, if you get apple now and you leave the apple in the park, there's this apple I used to get from Barakat, like the park, there's 15 or there's plenty.
Yeah.
If one spoils, that's how all of them start spoiling.
Yeah.
You get that's what is really affecting. That's how I can describe the scenario.
Yeah.
They touch each other.
It's kind of hard to fight something that is already like
Yeah. Should I take the mic? Let me keep
Yeah.
You know, I so much love this particular topic because
because I'm a pastor.
No, not because I'm a pastor. I'm saying from the standpoint of me being, at least as undergraduate, I have a little knowledge of what religion is, what the secular world is, and what life's supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So now let's look at religion from the religious perspective or from their own point of view.
Yeah.
The whole essence of religion is about sacred life, right?
Yeah.
Right.
At the end, let's get to enter heaven and all this stuff.
Right.
And we cannot just go to heaven like that, except we practice the religion on earth. We show love and kindness to one another, right?
Yeah.
So let's shift from the religious perspective to academic perspective.
Yeah.
From the academic perspective, we can see it as an ideology.
Yeah.
And so from there, I will say Christian, Muslim, Buddhism, and the
Everybody has
rest.
their ideology.
So now there is contention between
All of
Christian
them.
and the Muslims.
Yeah.
So this how it varies all around the world, and at the same time, when ideology is not tamed,
Yeah.
it tends to corrupt.
Yeah.
And when it corrupts the mind, it becomes radical.
Because
when it becomes
everybody's-
radical,
Yeah.
it becomes
Problem
something
to
that
the
kills,
society.
Yeah.
rampant in the society.
Yeah.
So, evidence is seen around Nigeria, you can say.
Wow.
Most of our Gen Z now, we don't question what comes from our superiors, from the religion,
yeah.
either from the Muslim or anywhere.
Mm.
We just obey.
Yeah.
I think if you ask me, our generation is one of the most failed generation in history.
Yeah.
Ever
Sorry.
since the world has been
We have
created.
not
Sorry,
failed.
I feel like they don't obey. They just don't even listen.
Yeah.
They don't even really listen.
Gen Z
Yeah.
don't
Since
really-
they take in the action, they obey it.
Mm.
If they ask you to go and do this, you did not even think critically to what is the impact of this thing. You just go and do it because they ask you to do it. You do it. So what's the whole sense of our education? The education is meant to liberate our mind, to keep us on the edge of bad and good. We stand there and pick the right decision to shape our society.
Okay.
In fact,
Let me
it will be surprising enough that.
Let me chip in something.
All right, sir.
I just thought of something, right?
Okay.
There's a relation between the government and the religion.
When it
You know why?
when it
The
comes
government will not give you good education
When it
because they want you to not know for yourself. So that when the religion man says something,
Please,
which
now-
is the right one.
Yes. Yeah.
should I
Yes,
say?
continue.
Yeah.
That is an African perspective.
Yeah.
Well, if you say religion and government has something in common. All right. So in the African perspective, that's what they're meant to, we are meant to believe that government and religion is so separate. But if you can see it in our constitution, it's clearly stipulated that state should not have a religion, should not adapt to any religion. So, but then in African way, and in Nigeria to be saying, those are leaders, they tend to go to religion and other aspect or institutions to wield influence for those that will vote them. And the easier way, one of the easier institutions is religion. Religion compels people to do things.
Yeah, Lord.
Because they're asked to do it. You are doing it for God.
Mm.
We obey and they get it.
Yeah.
So now it is our own responsibility as citizens
To
and
know
also
for
as
ourselves.
believers of any religion for yourself in to make the right thing.
Yes, and do the right thing.
Don't just follow blindly.
Thank
but
you
then
very much.
Follow with your
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank
That's
you.
true.
Like, this thing you just said is very important. If this thing you said, everybody in the world is doing it, we'll not have a problem.
We'll have a better world.
You calm down and read the thing the book say by yourself, and do it how you are supposed to do it. You will not be having issues. You get with terrorism and a ton of things because that's
Definitely.
the lie is the lie to these people. And what happens is because I and a friend was discussing something, was like talking about how people tend to start things and not be able to stop. You get?
Yeah.
I'm saying that some of these ideas is from when you are a child. Do you know that a lot of things you are doing now, you learnt it from your childhood? A ton of them. Now to change when you have old, you get once that ideology is inside you. That's why we have to go to church. We have to go to mosques. You get? We cannot just like, for example, there are Sundays I will say I can't go, but my conscience will just be judging me as if I'm doing something really bad. So everybody has to learn for themselves. Everybody has to understand what they are doing. If everybody can understand this thing, it's going to coin and reduce a very huge chunk of the Olodo Uprising, because there are a ton of wrong informations that these religious leaders pass sometimes. I'm not saying all of them. A ton of them are doing great. They are doing well. They are teaching the right thing. You get, but some of them are teaching really wrong things. They say things and people just do them, which is very wrong.
Just the way bandits be killing people and think that you're doing it
The
for
right
Allah.
thing, yeah. So there's a lot.
It boils down to people being very overly religious. For me, I'll always say this anywhere,
Yeah.
anytime. I am not a overly religious
Religious
person.
person.
I would even tell you I'm not a religious person. And then you'd be like, why would you say that kind of thing? And I'm a Christian. Yes, I go to church, I read the Bible, but I am not a religious person who will follow what the pastor says blindly. If what you're saying
Pastor
is
can
not...
never ask you to go and kill.
Yes.
No.
Let's
not ask you go and extort somebody to go and bring the money to them, right?
No, there are pastors that can say it.
Well, I've never
They are
seen
bad
They
pastors.
will not
I've never seen
directly
them.
tell you to do
They
it.
don't have completely good.
No, I'm not even talking of things
That
that
is where, if you remember earlier, I say it, that's where you need to know the whole thing by yourself and make the right.
Yeah,
Because,
you're right.
you know,
You're right.
Yes.
I've
So
I'm not even talking about things that are outrightly wrong.
Yeah.
This the manipulative energy
There are just some
that
little
comes
things.
that
being
comes
overly
Yeah.
religious.
it's when they start from little things that seems to make sense.
Okay.
And then eventually it grows to the point that where they say something like that, and you're like,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to go for like
So
that.
recently, recently I saw something that relates to what she's saying. The girl, according to her story, she said when she got to campus, the pastor of the church, one of the churches she was attending, told her that God brought her to the school because of the church. That she's supposed to be more focused on the church than really her
academic
school.
School, yeah.
You get so imagine that kind of talk, and the person she was doing it too. That at a point she got like, what is he even doing? What is her main? So when you are going to school, your main focus is school, not.
Right.
So there are a lot of them like that that have wrong
There's
ideas.
also another example to what Z just said.
Yeah.
You know, there was a time where there was this particular one that was down with a very, very chronic illness, right? She was completely down.
Okay.
And all she needed to do was just to run a test and just buy just a very small pill that wasn't even really expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know what she did? She went to her pastor and the pastor told her that all she needed was to do dry fasting for 14 days.
Someone that is sick.
Relax. Now, this same chronic disease that she had, she wasn't able to like have appetite to like eat or drink water or whatever.
Right.
But guess what? She embarked on this 14 days fasting. Before the end of this fasting, this woman died.
Very valid.
Well,
Now, when
nice.
they ran the test and they went to check, when they found out everything,
Yeah.
they already knew that what she was like, when she noticed that this thing was actually affecting her, it was just one small test they needed to do. Then there was a drug that was supposed to buy like 15K.
The whole thing still boils. The whole thing still boils down to our personal responsibility.
Yeah.
Like I said before, know what is right for you and do it. Even in the Bible, when Jesus healed, he will ask you to go and meet the physician. Let him see to you. Done. He did not ask you to when you are sick. He will tell you to put. No, when we are sick, we need to go to hospitals to get treatment and all of this. But after that, we still need to pray because God is the master healer. So when the pastor asked the lady to go and do dry fasting, she should have known by herself that, at the current stage, she don't need fasting. What she needs is to go to the hospital, get the test result and get treatment. And after that, you can go back to your pastor and pray for me, sir, that let the drugs work. Like, there are some things that need to apply common sense on it. You don't need to be cajoled to,
No,
you don't need to be under influence.
Concerning common sense, I wanted to talk about rationality. Concerning common sense, you don't expect everybody to have a high level of IQ. We are in a society where everybody have different levels of. Some people are mediocre, some people are retarded, some people are not very. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, this basic morals that they have grown up with, and these people are people you literally see as your intermediator with God, heaven. You really don't expect them to go against it. You're supposed to be rational about it. That's when interacting with people helps. Going out and doing other things. But now the other things that you can see from the social media is now taking us back to square one.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a lot. If you want to keep discussing this topic, we'll keep talking to tomorrow. Alright, but at the end of the day, everybody should know God for themselves.
Yes.
Everybody should learn for themselves, read books, read the Bible, read your Quran, read anything you're supposed to read that is in your religion so that you understand these things yourself and you don't listen to people blindly. All right. Moving on, we're going to be discussing the last part for this podcast, the Olodo Uprising. And this part is the biggest part to me because then when I was in primary school, there's something they taught us, family. Alright, they say family is a group of don't forget to is the consists of a mother, father, and a child, and so they used to say all these things. And there's one point that I got since that time. They say the family is the smallest area of socialization and it's the closest one. You get. So everything you are doing first starts with your mommy, your daddy, your brothers first before you now go to church, the outside world, and then government. And although government has a lot to, let's not talk about government. So now we want to look at how our family has affected us. You get, has brought a lot of Olodo uprisers. You get, there are a ton of things that families do that end up creating Olodo uprisers.
Basically, there are things that I've heard people talk about that they do in their homes.
Yeah.
That I'm like, what the fuck? Like, who the hell does that? Like, I'm not sure it's making any sense. Now, I would low-key want to blame your parents for some of the actions you are doing. There are people who come from family that's there's a way it's so engrossed, like your whole background thing is engrossed in you that if you tell somebody, oh, the sky is red, they'll be like, no, the sky is blue because my mom said the sky is blue. And then there is no way you explain to that person that thing, okay, there's chances that it can be red, though. But no. And then some of these mothers because the core educational, moral, social, whatever you get as a child comes from your mother because that's the person you're very much closest to growing up.
Yeah.
Some of them married at the age of 14. Some of them married at the age of 16. What do a 16-year-old child know about parenthood? So you can think of what that mother would actually pass down to her child. She doesn't know much herself. Yeah. And then she's not going back to what we said, religion bringing morals.
So let me get one point out of what you're saying.
Right.
Like early marriage is one of the effects.
The biggest contributor of the
early marriage is you have to learn, you have to know what you have to know a lot.
You're not matured enough to mother a child.
Yeah.
So having a kid takes a lot. It involves the physical, the spiritual, the emotional, which most Africans neglect to the core. We don't care about the emotional aspect of a child as a parent. I'm not even going to say some. Our parents now, except us that are having children now, people that are having children now that are realizing that, but you cannot say that, oh, you're having depression. You're also going to tell your mommy that you're having depression. Keep that. There is less innovative intellectual information being passed by a parent to the child. It stops at academics, and then the academic system is already bad. The religion is getting corrupted. So if the family itself does not have its own original standing and moral to give to its child, what are you left with to learn from your family? Yeah. There's nothing. And we don't have much reasonable people like that. And then you now fall back to tradition. Tradition that cannot be applicable to the society you live in today. So the child is left standing in the middle of nowhere, trying to hold on to whatever he can. And then this is what's going on in society. This is what's going on in social media. That is the easiest access to socialization that you're supposed to get from the home.
Yeah.
So it boils down to being groomed, like groom yourself personally. Yeah. As we're going to become parents, groom yourself properly, because if not, so you are just going to pass the rubbish.
So the first thing you talked about was early marriage as a bad factor. You get. And then we grooming ourselves like that. We need to groom ourselves to be better parents in order to avoid
to understand
grooming Olodo uprisers.
And then eventually, you should help yourself see the errors your parents have made while bringing you up. And then correct them in yourself.
Yeah.
For yourself. Now, forget about the family in the future. For yourself as a person, learn to let go of some things you learned from home that are not rationally right. There are things that are obviously not just right.
Yeah.
Forget about what somebody said. Don't believe what you believe just because it's how they raised you.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Yeah. So learn to break free from these certain things. It can be hard. It can be something you don't even observe, but take time to learn yourself.
So what's like, can you give us like one example of that kind of thing?
One example?
Yeah, personally,
something that I'm very big on not having a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very big on not having a kid because I know it entails a lot. One thing about me is I would not pass down emotional or mental problems to a kid when knowing fully well I am not healthy mentally.
Enough to.
Do you understand? And then I have parents who do not understand fully the concept of mental health.
Yeah.
And then like
have a child.
No, they want me to have a child.
Yeah.
But I said I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because I know that I'm not fully equipped to do that.
To
Now,
pass
if
down
you know you want to have a child, make sure you have the qualities to do that. I will not do that because I know I do not.
Yeah.
If eventually I tend to get these qualities, I will.
Yeah.
But just because it's what society expects from me, or what my parents expect from me, I would not do it because I know I'm going to follow in their steps and I'll end up having a kid who would have issues just like I did.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a lot.
Right.
Z, go and marry you. I'm not saying it the way your mom will say it. You go burn down the kid. I want boy again.
I want to.
Yeah, if I did not make that decision, will you be alive?
Will you be alive?
That kind of
Who knows if I don't? We're not talking about.
Well, let's not talk about it. Okay, let's.
All right. I don't have so much to chip on this, but I would rather, give personal experience.
Yeah.
When I was younger, much younger then, during my time, I'm old enough now.
Yes, so.
Yes. 2000 kid man.
Yes, so.
Okay.
During that time, yeah, well, when you go out there, you do something, silly, and someone beats you or do something. If you dare come at home and report, they'll still beat you.
Yes, so.
But in this 21st century, and in fact, in this current 2026, can anyone raise hand on any other person's kid and go free with it?
It's very hard.
We'll go
so these are the things, people of nowadays, we don't take corrections, rather we see it as kind of aggression or something. So the Olodo Uprising and the families is one of the core foundation that if we really want to address this thing, or the government, the religion, everything we talk about boils down to the family. Because family is the first step of socialization. They groom you how to see the world around you, how to see people of different ethnicity.
Yeah.
So in fact, if you were raised to be a hostile someone, when you see people, you tend to be hostile to them. You don't feel the human emotion to them. You can act and you do and undo. So, but if you were groomed in a proper way, just like you said, we'll have a good society.
Yeah.
And family varies around. Just the same way we have different cultures in Nigeria. If you go around there, you get to understand that what you cherish in your own culture, it's something to play ball from the other end. But then after all these differences, there are still best way of doing things that everybody benefits from.
To crown it all, we've spoken about a lot. We've spoken about the government. We've spoken about religion, and we've spoken about family. Olodo Uprising is really, really a serious matter that we have to look at. I want you all to get something straight. Number one, from the government, we have to hold the government accountable in the provision of education, security, and every basic necessity that is needed by a human. It is our right. We are supposed to have it normally. We are not supposed to beg. We are not supposed to ask for it, right? So, elections is coming up like next year, right? So, we have the power. Our power is the voting power. And we hope that things are going to go away and things are going to change for Nigeria first. Now, coming to religion, from all they have said, what I can crown is the fact that you have to know things for yourself, right? So at the end of the day, if you don't know these things for yourself, you are going to be the Olodo, right? You are going to do a lot of things that are going to show that you're an Olodo. And lastly, then family. Families should teach their children the right thing. They should put out the best ideas to their children, because most children, what their life turns out to become is what they learn from childhood, right? It's just like reading. Most of us started reading when we were small, right? Started reading, and they'll tell you 2 letter words. Ycee, O and on and stuff. So teach your children the right thing and make sure that they learn these stuff. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Like, share, and just put down the topic that you want us to discuss in the next podcast. Thank you. Peace out.